Okay, now we have this exercise number 7. The position of a weight attached to a spring is S of t is 3 sine of 4 pi t. Length is in inches and time is in seconds. From this we have to find out the period, the frequency, the maximum height that this weight is going to get, because it is a sine, okay? So it's going to have a low and a high, a low and a high. And not only the height, the maximum height, but when does this happen? The first thing we have to do is, let's plot this equation here. I'm going to write it back again. So we have S of t equals 3 sine, this is the amplitude, remember, multiply by, this is going to be the period, okay? This is going to affect the period, this 4 pi, times t. Let's review everything. I was using the pink, right? Let's not change colors. This is going to be related to the amplitude. Remember, we have a sine. We are just stretching up, okay? And just before we start, let's just build the sine function, the pure sine function. I always like to do this. I feel much more comfortable knowing what is the basic function, then we just move to this one. Well, between sine and cosine, I always like to think like this, because I want to know if I'm going to start in here or in 0. Well, sine of 0 is 0. Then I'm going to start in here. And so on. Some things that we already have to know. It is the period. This is going to be the period. And remember, the period, it is 2 pi for sine, 2 pi for cosine, and pi for tangent. This we have to know by heart. There is no excuse if a student doesn't know those facts. This is going to be the sine, okay, sine of x. Let's just make it x and y. Now let's put some tags in here. What is going to be this one? Remember, it goes always from 90 to 90 degrees, okay? So this is going to be pi over 2. This is going to be pi. This other point in here, it is going to be 3 pi over 2. Let me see where I'm going to write. Yeah, 3 pi over 2. And this is going to be the end, okay, which is 2 pi. Notice that I'm considering from this point to this point. Remember what a period is? A period is a completely full cycle, beginning to end. If we start in here, let's start going up, going down, stop here. After this point, we are going to start again another cycle, going up, you see? Another cycle. So this is one cycle. Or we could say that the cycle starts in here, no problems. It goes down and up, stop. Now it goes down again. This is one cycle too. So the period is 2 pi. Well, from this chart, that's what you have to know. Oh, something else. This is going to be -1. And this is going to be plus 1. Okay, that's what you have to know from the sine function. Now, our amplitude, it is going to be multiplied by 3. We are just stretching up like this, okay? And what about this one? This is going to change our period. How? Remember, if we are multiplying our variable by 4 pi, it means that charting, okay, in the chart, we're just going to divide by 4 pi. Meaning, we are just taking our curve and make like this shorter, okay? Just doing this to the curve. Again, whenever we multiply the variable, the chart is divided, okay? So, and what does it mean is, I always repeat, everything on this axis, the x-axis, it is going to suffer the influence of this division. So, the period, it is going to be divided by 4 pi. Well, right away we can tell the period from our weight, it is going to be 2 pi divided by 4 pi, meaning it is going to be just half, right? Because if you just take 2 pi divided by 4 pi, cancel, okay? And we just have 1 over 2. The new period is going to be a fourth of this, meaning pi over 2, just half, right? Okay? Not a fourth. Divided by 4 pi, okay? Let's make it very precise. And each point, it is also going to be divided by 4 pi. So, let's just write our equation, not our equation, let's just write our chart. But now I'm going to put t, okay? And this is s of t. It is the same as x and y, but our y, it is a position, s, and the x, it is going to be our time. It is the same thing. And one other thing, we are not changing anything regarding the phase, meaning we are not switching like this, moving, okay? We are not translating, if I could say. There is no translation on this chart. Well, so I'm going to put precisely is going to be like this because it's just a sine, okay? We still have all those points. Now, let's transfer this to here. If here was pi over 2, let's make it like this, because I want some space. It used to be pi over 2, right? But now we are going to divide by 4 pi. Okay? That means we now have 1/8, right? The pi is cancelled, 1 over 8. In here, it used to be pi. But now we are going to divide by 4 pi. Everything it is divided by 4 pi. Meaning the new value, it is just going to be 1/4. This new one here, this new point, it used to be 3 pi over 2. Not anymore, because now we have to divide by 4 pi. This means that the new value, pi cancel, okay, and we just have 3 over 8. And again, the last one, it used to be 2 pi. Not anymore, because now we are dividing by 4 pi. Again, divide by 4 pi. Why? Because if we multiply the variable by 4 pi, everything on the chart, it is divided by 4 pi. And this is just cancel, cancel, just half. Okay? And you're going to see that the new period, it is going to be just half, right? Just half. Half what? Half seconds, because the periods, I'm sorry, the units, right? We always have to write the units. This is inches. Okay? We always have to write the units on our charts when we are graphing something. Okay, and now let's leave this space in here for the answers. Okay, A. What is the period? The period, it is just going to be half seconds, right? 0.5 seconds. What is the frequency? Remember that the periods, the frequency, one, it is the opposite of the other one. Okay? And this is 1 over 0.5, and this is just 2, right? 2 what? 2 hertz. Okay? Remember hertz? Hertz, it is 1 over seconds. Again, C, the maximum height. Oh, we just forgot. Okay, it is the amplitude. It used to be 1, right? But everything is going to be multiplied by 3. So this is a plus 3. This is a minus 3. So the maximum height it is going to reach. Now this part is a little bit tricky. Okay, because the amplitude, it is 3. Can we say that the maximum height it is 3? It depends. The exercise did not state exactly where is 0. If it did not state where is 0, I'm going to assume that 0 it is going to be this part. I'm going to assume that 0 it is going to be the lowest part. Then it goes from minus 3 up to plus 3. Therefore, I'm going to assume that this is going to be our 0 for our weight, and our weight can go up to 6 inches. Okay, so the maximum weight H maximum is going to be 6 inches, because I'm going to consider this 0. Okay, it would be wrong to say just 3 meters. 3 meters, it is the amplitude. Okay, but the total distance it is going to travel, it is 6. And when does this happen? Meaning, when is he going to get maximum height? Well, it is going to happen at t equals 1/8 of a second. Okay, then at t1, then at t2 1/8 plus half, right? Because after half second it is going to get another height again, and so on. Every half second it is going to reach this maximum. So we can say that the general formula for the time it is going to be necessary to reach this height, it is going to be what? 1/8 plus k over 2, where k equals 0, 0. It is the first time it reaches this maximum. K equals 1. This is going to be k0, k1, okay, and so on. So we have for k equals 0. This is the answer, okay? And then I'm going to write, let me put it now. So the answer, it is this. First, second, third, fourth. Those are the answers. For k equals 0, time equals 1/8 of a second. For k equals 1, this is t0, we have t1 is going to be what? 1/8 plus half, right, of a second. K equals 2, we have t2, it is going to be the third time, right, it's going to get the maximum. It is 1/8, I'm sorry, this is 1/8 plus 1 second, okay? And this would be the answer, okay? Or you don't have to write this expression. You could just say, maybe the exercise should be like this. When is the first time when the weight reaches maximum height? You would say just 1/8 seconds. But since it did not state that, I'm going to assume it is going to need the general formula, okay? And that's it for the exercise.